Bring in one of the most astute chroniclers of this current administration and its never-ending cyclone of madness, Olivia Nuzzi, Washington correspondent for New York Magazine. Her latest piece, which is really quite special, titled "The Fullest Possible Story of the Four Seasons Total Landscaping Press Conference," in which Olivia seeks to answer the question, how did that end up happening, and talks to like a million people and never answers the question, but it's a fun ride. What is your best read, according to your sources, of what? I mean, I have grown so weary, right, for 5 years of like, he's increasingly untethered from reality. He's increasingly this. He's like, everyone's freaking out. We've read it a million times. But like, there's some very serious stakes here right now, and there's 30 days left. Like, what is going on?
Well, everyone is saying that, right? That the president is more unglued than ever, that the wheels are increasingly off. We've been saying for years, I think we've said it a few times during our conversations on this show, that it never seemed like there were wheels to begin with, or that they were on. So it's hard to know, at what point the break with reality started in the minds of the people around the president. But when I talk to White House officials, they do say that he has been in a worse mood than ever. There is infighting that's continuing to go on, and people don't want to be around the president. They're avoiding him. And it seems like he is really just trying to cause as much trouble as he can, cause as much chaos as he can, and generate as much attention as he can with his time left.
How do you understand the coup plotting? At one level, it's like it's so clownish and impotent. At the other level, it's like the thing they are doing is plotting the end of the American constitutional republic as it has been essentially understood, at least since the Civil War. Like, that's actually what they're working on. How seriously do you take it, or how would you characterize what it is they're working on when they're plotting?
This is the essential problem with understanding anything about the Trump presidency, is that his plotting is so haphazard and often so half-assed that it's hard to know how seriously to take anything, and how seriously sometimes it feels ridiculous to react in what would ordinarily be a proportionate way to what he's saying or what he's doing. If it were anybody else, he would be institutionalized, or there would be an intervention staged. But right. He is who he is, and I think it makes it difficult to understand, exactly what his intentions are or how seriously to take him. And he's surrounded by these people who could really screw up anything and have screwed up anything and everything, like Rudy Giuliani or Sidney Powell or anyone else in his ear and his head meeting with him in the White House. It's difficult to know, when this island of misfit toys of advisors around him, what they could really achieve, or if any of it is anything besides just a PR move. With him, you never really know. And that's kind of been the problem reporting on him and analyzing him for the last 5 years, really, that we faced.
Final question for you. I've often wondered, if you look at Nixon and George W. Bush, who both left office with very, very low approval ratings, like 20%, right? Obviously under different circumstances. That part of that was that they were lame ducks. They were both in their second terms. They weren't standing for election again. I've often wondered how much Trump has benefited from the fact that he wasn't a lame duck, and now he is, and whether there's a palpable sense that the man's power is ebbing. It seems so apparent and obvious to me. Do they get it inside the White House that is happening?
Totally. And I think that's why he is more isolated than ever. When I've talked to White House officials, I've talked to advisors of the president, and when they talk about leaving him alone now or avoiding him now, it's quite different from what it was like the previous 4 years, when you had to be around him physically. You had to be in his line of sight if you wanted proximity to power. And now he has nothing to give these people. And this is an entirely transactional bunch of self-interested people. And they no longer need to be around him and deal with the verbal abuse or anything else that entails. And so that's why this vacuum is now being filled more than ever with crazy people like Rudy Giuliani and his kind of gang of idiots around him.
Olivia Nuzzi, that piece in New York Magazine, you should make time, if you're watching this, to read it. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.